strict shoulder press. This is also called a military press. Now the key with a strict shoulder press is, remember, it's strict. So your knees remain bent, feet are set strong in the ground. With all press progressions, remember, it all starts in the feet. So even though you're using your upper body to press the barbell, everything starts in the feet. Think about your feet almost grabbing the ground before you press, and everything up that chain remains nice and strong and engaged. This is very indicative of a good, powerful, athletic, ready position. Foot under hip, slight bend in the knees, midline engaged, hips neutral, chest up, shoulders back, chin forward. So on a strict shoulder press, remember, you're taking the bar from the front rack or high shelf position, straight overhead, locking out your arms. You're maintaining a nice high shelf, meaning the barbell is rested very high on your chest. A lot of athletes will actually ask, where should the bar be on that front rack position? It should rest right across that clavicle or right on top of your shoulders as you start to develop your shoulders. The forearms, as you drive vertically. As you drive the barbell overhead with no lower body movement, your head actually passes through your arm and your ears are right next to your arm. This creates a nice, safe, efficient, full range of movement so you can have a powerful, strict shoulder press. The push press. The push press comes after the strict shoulder press. The push press is designed to move a little bit more load a little bit quicker. You're creating a little bit of inertia and a little bit of momentum by simply doing what we call a dip and a drive. So imagine the athlete, or imagine yourself sliding up against a wall with just a slight bend in your knees. You'll see a lot of athletes that turn this into a quarter squat or a half squat. The idea is to use the hips, not the legs, to get the barbell from that front rack position overhead as quickly as you can. Remember, speed is of the essence. If the weight is heavy, it's better to move it quickly versus moving it slower. The mechanics remain essentially the same. The forearms will continue to drive vertically. They're going to dip and then drive. When you're coaching your athletes right now, the dip cannot be fast. Patience. Patience on the dip, powerful on the drive. Remember, dip and drive. Dip and drive. Drive is fast, dip, be patient. Remember, the key with the push press, that would mean that the weight is too heavy to strict shoulder press. Your next option is the push press. The push jerk. So after the strict shoulder press, after the push press, we have the push jerk. It's a bridge movement to getting into that advanced movement, the split jerk. The push jerk teaches the athlete how to get underneath the bar, under heavy load, while locking out the arms. So even though it says push, it's more about the athlete getting underneath the bar very quickly while locking out their arms in one movement. The key with the push jerk is to not think about necessarily pressing the barbell, but dropping under the barbell. Again, you're driving vertically with the forearms, chin is down, eyes straight ahead, feet are still underneath hip in a very stable, athletic, ready position. The push jerk is different than the split jerk because the feet don't split, they remain under the hip. So you'll notice the athletes, after they get set, the bar won't move vertically very much. The body drops underneath as they lock out their arm as quickly as possible. But you'll notice even when they lock their arms out, their feet, their torso, their hips, their chest, their shoulders maintain the integrity of that athletic ready position that we've already talked about. The split jerk. So now the weight would be so heavy that you can't strict press it, you can't push press it, and the push jerk isn't necessarily the best means of getting that barbell from shoulder to overhead, so we do what's called split jerk. When you split jerk, your feet are just almost taking a scissor position, taking it straight back. So your front foot goes forward, your back leg goes back, your front shin is vertical, and your back leg is stabilized on the front third of your foot. So we'll do one repetition and hold so you can see what that looks like. So notice in the split position, both of their feet are wide enough to maintain a very stable, relaxed position, and they're a very strong, stable position. A lot of athletes in the beginning they're gonna feel awkward with this movement. So the front leg typically won't be out far enough and the back leg won't be back far enough. If the split is too short or too shallow, it really defeats the purpose of the split jerk. And what I also want you to watch is something what we call how do you recover in the finish. So the proper way to do this is you take a half a step forward with the back leg and a half a step back with the front leg, so you finish up in the exact same position you started with in that very good athletic ready position. Now our athletes are gonna pick up the barbell and we're gonna show you what a full split jerk looks like. Remember, your goal with speed is to get underneath the bar without necessarily pressing it. So this is a very difficult movement because it engages a full body process. Again, watch the recovery, half a step forward with the back leg, half a step back with the front leg, finishing in that reset position. So remember, our press progressions after a push-up start with a strict shoulder press, then a push press, then a push jerk, and finally the advanced split jerk. Remember, when you're coaching these movements, small sets, 2 to 3 repetitions, the easy part to remember, go back to that athletic ready position, high shelf, vertical forearm drive. As the press progressions continue, speed is of the essence. Those are the press progressions.